A lot of people, when they first meet me, they find out what I do for a living, and the first thing they ask me after I tell them I'm a podiatrist is why feet? Well, this is my story on why I chose to look at feet for a living and how I got where I am today. So let me start by introducing myself. My name's Mike. I'm originally from a little town called Lewes in East Sussex in England. My background as a youngster in terms of playing sport was football, athletics and kickboxing, but I also had a big interest in designing performance footwear. As a kid, I'd sit down for hours with my pencil and sketchbook, like trying out designs and ideas for new running shoes that were made. Majority of them was sort of, brightly coloured and different technical things with springs and things like that I thought was cool at the time. But obviously at that time I also had no idea in terms of what a shoe footwear incorporated and the biomechanics and engineering behind it. Despite this, about how little I knew about legs and feet, I'd still then try and send them off to shoe brands such as Adidas and Nike. But unfortunately never got back from them, as you kind of expect, I guess. It never really stung me not getting a response back that I'd sort of hoped for. But I guess you still kind of have a dream that you want to do these sorts of things, and I guess to start with, like podiatry and everything like that, it kind of stems down the same route. So this was basically the reason, and part of the reason why I started studying podiatry at uni, and I went to uni in Wales, in Cardiff in Wales. 4 years after, I'm still chasing that dream of designing footwear and everything, I guess. So after working in Indonesia for a while, I then came to Australia hoping to get a job, and after a few interviews, I wound up at a place where custom orthotics and footwear modifications, sports injuries were kind of the primary focus. Now, despite learning a hell of a lot from there, I also started to realize almost what a looked down profession podiatry is. People would come in, and they'd be asking me just to cut their toenails or asking for a pedicure and things like that. And I didn't like that. That hurts, You're at a uni, you spend 4 years learning this and you feel like it's very degrading towards you. So that kind of gave me another idea. So for people approaching me like to ask for a pedicure, you kind of wonder how did podiatry get to this point? What's let us down? Does it have anything to do with podiatrists, the way they present themselves, the marketing that we do? So after some searching around online, I kind of found out that obviously the primary focus on podiatrists and their marketing to start with was just foot care in general and performing the pedicures. The marketing and everything that everyone was doing at the time, it did seem quite old-fashioned, the uniforms and stuff like that, quite outdated, and the image of some clinics and things, it kind of was a little bit demeaning, and I felt the business that I was working in at the time had taken some of those steps in the right direction to change what podiatry is and the views of people, but I still felt like there was something still missing, and I guess everyone's got their own ideas of how it should be done, and that's where I wanted to again bring in my influence and my effects. So all of a sudden I had this, I guess, vision of what I want podiatry to be and healthcare to be, and I've got a bit of a desire to change the way that people view podiatry as a profession and regard it. And so I said to myself, let's try and make podiatry cool. Let's have podiatry as something that people respect and think is kind of awesome, which is obviously not an easy thing to do with a trade that's based off looking at feet for a living, I guess. So I basically wanted to have a bit of a brand that people would be proud to represent. They wear the logo proudly on their chest, I guess, as I'm kind of doing today, and not just think of a place to go where they get their toenails cut. So I think the first thing that again came to me, I'm like, well, some cool brands today, like Nike, Apple, if they had a podiatry clinic, how would they market it? What would they do? They're some of the coolest, highest grossing companies about today. They've made something almost that's not cool. but how did they do it, and how can I make podiatry, which, let's be honest, like really isn't the coolest thing in the world, more appealing to a bigger audience, and make it far more than toenail clipping and like taking corns and callus and stuff off. So after coming up with this idea, I then sat down with a few friends, and luckily I've got a few pretty talented friends in the marketing and graphic design business that have helped me out to no end along the way, and they agreed to help me out as part of this journey, in exchange for a couple of tequilas, whiskey with frozen mango in, don't ask, and being a good friend who stays out late, being until early hours of the morning, being a wingman, and after countless late nights spent with them discussing brand names and logo designs and learning how to build websites, I finally came up with the name ACE, which is, it's simple, it's easy to remember. It's A is the first letter in the alphabet for phone books and stuff like that. And it's something that's easy to work with when it comes to design, layout, and it can kind of be applied to anything that you want. So it was something I felt proud about and something that I would happily represent. And I felt as I said, the logo and the name was kind of limitless in terms of what you wanted to do. So fast forward, I guess 3 years later to where I am now, and I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be, but I'm slowly getting there. I've now got full-time marketing manager within the brand, physiotherapist, massage therapist, 3 clinics with another one on the way, and a small gym as well. And I've also got a few products on the way that also represent the ACE brand. So I feel obviously this then and everything has kind of come a long way from sketching shoe designs and everything like that, hoping that call will come, which unfortunately never came. So I've got a clinic that I'm pretty happy with at the moment, and I guess people don't come in quite as often or as much anymore asking for pedicures and such, but rather coming in for rehab sessions and strength and conditioning sessions and 3D printed orthotics and footwear advice and gait training and balance training, and there's so much more to it, and that makes me feel like proud of what I've got almost, and what I've kind of done in terms of changing the way that people at least view my clinic and podiatry clinic in general. So I guess this is the start for me in terms of changing how podiatry is viewed and prescribed. So obviously these journeys are never easy, and along the journey, I was left at one stage financially, and I had $500 left in my bank account, and at one point I was left homeless for a few weeks. So I guess what I'm trying to say as well is if you've got an idea in your head, do something and do something about it. Put your mind to it and create that change that you wanted. It's not going to happen magically by itself. So if you want to change, you need to set out a plan, a logical plan of how you want to basically create this change. Don't just rush out there. You've got to think about these things, and look, there's always a risk, but you've got to have a calculated risk to everything. I think that's the main thing, because a lot of people go, well, take the risk, throw yourself in there, but you've got to be calculated at what you do, and there's got to be a higher chance of something working out, I guess, in terms of not. But then when you do it, don't do a half-assed job with it. Go out there and make sure that you put everything into it. Things don't happen when they're half-assed. Otherwise, you're just going to come back, redo things again later, which then takes more time, more money, and just cause more issues and problems. And I think that leads into the next point of be proud of what you have. If you're doing something, just think about it and think that if you've done it and you've got it, you want to be able to show it off to friends, family, other people. Be proud of what you've got. And that comes back to the point of don't do things half-assed. If you're half-assed, you don't want to show these things off to people. You won't feel as proud about what you've got or anything like that. So make sure that you're proud of what you do. Make sure that you put it all in there. Don't do things half-heartedly. And just try your best. And I guess if you've got these ideas, give it a go. So that's a bit of my, cut down sort of story anyway, and I hope that, I guess, it gives people a better idea of why I do what I do, and I hope it kind of inspires someone to go out there and do something they feel they can make a change in anyway. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.